Hi, I'm Mike from 1A Auto. We've been selling auto parts for over 30 years. We're dedicated to delivering quality auto parts, expert customer service, fast and free shipping, all backed by our 100% satisfaction guarantee. So visit us at 1AAuto.com, your trusted source for quality auto parts.
Okay, we're going to replace the washer bottle on this vehicle. We have to start by removing the auxiliary battery tray here. There are 8 10mm bolts that we're going to use a socket to remove. All right, with all the bolts removed, you can lift this tray out of the way. So one of those bolts that was holding the tray in was holding the top of the bottle. So now we have to remove this top one, and then we'll have to go underneath to remove the rest of the bolts. We're going to remove this top bolt here. Again, we're using the 10mm socket. As you can see, the washer bottle is already beginning to come loose. It's got a lot of fluid in it, so once we undo it, we're going to have a bucket ready to catch anything that drips. Okay, so you're going to have to pull out this fender liner here to get to the other side of the bolts for the washer fluid reservoir, but you can do it on the ground and just turn the wheel this way. We're going to put it up in the lift and take the wheel off just so it's easier to see for the video. To remove the front of the splash shield, we don't have to take the whole thing down. We're just going to peel this part back. We're going to remove these little 7mm bolts, and then we'll pop these clips off. So we're going to use a trim tool to pop these clips off. You can use a flat-headed screwdriver. You're just going to carefully slide it under here and just gently pry them out. They've got little barbs to them, and they'll pop out. And then these up here, take your flat-headed screwdriver or trim tool and then work it under that part. You have to work from both sides. This releases them. Once they're up like this, they should just pull right out. It's all right if the middle comes out. Then you can just pry up and just pry the outside part out, because when you go to put it back in, you can just pop the middle right back in here. What happens when you push these in, it spreads the clips out, and that's what locks it. So with the last ones out, we can just fold this back and just sort of take it and fold it like that away. Now we can see the bottom of the washer fluid tank. Okay, so we're going to take out the last 10mm bolt that's holding the washer tank. But first, you should unclip the level sensor that's here. Just kind of pull the tab up and then pull it down and out. As soon as you undo this bolt, it's going to be loose, so you got to be ready to hold it. And then you're going to have to pull the hoses off the motors, and you're going to get some washer fluid leaking out if it's full like ours. If yours is broken and you're replacing it, there might not be any fluid in it. So this is a 10mm bolt, just like the others. Sometimes you just get it started, and then you can loosen it with your fingers. Now it's loose. I'm going to feed it out from underneath. And there's some electrical connectors on the front that are connected to the pumps. So you're going to want to disconnect these electrical connectors here. There should be one up here too. Okay, so you can lower it down some more. And now we're going to work the little rubber hoses off. I'm going to grab our bucket. Because it's going to drain out. This level sensor is a bit tricky. It's got a little float inside. It's probably going to pop off when you pull it out, and then you'll have to fish it out with a pair of pliers. You might be able to get it out without it popping off. There you go, that popped off. So there's a little float that goes in there, and now we're going to fish it out. So I just kind of rock the bottle around a bit to kind of get the float where I could see it by this hole. I'm gonna pull this little rubber seal out, grommet so I can see it better. I'm gonna use some pliers. I'm just gonna reach in there. It's a little bit like a game of Operation. Oh, there it is. See if I can get it. Oh, it's got a bit of a magnet in the end, so that kind of helps. And there it is. That's the float piece. So we're gonna take the float piece, it just installs one way, it clips back onto here. And that's how it operates. So it floats up when you're full and closed when the level is low. There's a little magnet that connects there. Now we're gonna put the level sensor in. So again, you just make sure it's nice and straight. It orientates up with this flat part. You push it through the grommet, in, seat it nicely. And that's it, that's installed. So again, you don't need to take the wheel off. We just took it off so it's easier for you to see, but you could do this on the ground by just turning the wheel this way and bending this out of the way. So you gotta slide this up into place. Get it fairly close so you can rehook the washer hose. It's got a little barb fitting to it, so we're gonna push it into the rubber. Doesn't take too much, it'll go in a little bit. The mat actually sits inside this little groove that's inside of the bottle. Grab the other hose. Plug that in as well. Seat that. I can sit in that little groove. Now we're going to take the motor connector, plug that in. Don't forget to plug these in because they'll go to use it and they won't work. You're gonna have to start turning it. You might have to slide this up into here to give you a little more slack to get the wire on. So I've got that one connected. And I'm going to start to slide it up into place. It sits right there. And connect to this level sensor. Take one of our 10mm bolts. We're going to put it back in the hole here. And take our ratchet and 10mm. Snug it up. And that's it. Don't go too much because you don't want to crack the plastic. But that's attached to the bottom now. Okay, now that we're all set under here, we're going to put this plastic splash shield back in. You can use this, one of these little barbed clips kind of stayed there, so you can put that back in to hold it. You can get the other barbed one. That went here. Now we're going to put those other two push clips, those bigger ones, were up here. Kind of work them into the hole. And then you push the center in. That locks them. These can be a bit tricky sometimes if you squeeze them tight like that. And then you just push them in, it's locked. Now there's two screws. Those had little 7mm heads on them. So just kind of get them started. All right, we're gonna take our 7mm socket and ratchet, tighten these up. All right, so now we're reinstalling the top. So we're gonna push the bottle over here, get the top bolt caught. Take the 10mm socket. So now we're gonna get ready to reinstall the auxiliary battery tray. There's one bolt here that goes through the tray that holds the bottle up, and the rest just hold the tray in. So we have to slide the tray in first. It goes up and underneath this plastic here, and just kind of lays down. Now we can bolt down all these bolts here. I'm going to start with the one that held the washer bottle in. I'm just installing the last bolt into the auxiliary battery tray. Okay, now that you've replaced the bottle, you have to refill it with washer fluid so you can use it. Try this without spilling too much.
Thanks for watching. Visit us at oneauto.com for quality auto parts, fast and free shipping, and the best customer service in the industry.